Yes, I want to draft two-piece sleeve, right, in this program. And there are a lot of things you can do even before doing a pattern. For example, if I just do black new one, right, and if I say this is a sleeve and inches, I get a point here, correct? Now the coordinates of this point is here. If you click on this and then move, the coordinates are moving, okay? And then you can Control Z to undo the point. Okay. That's a fit. Right. We need some measurements to do any pattern or anything. Yine deneyeceğim. Sleeve PNG yar. To fit. Press to fit. Okay, we have got this. Okay. We have a measurements here. 32-inch chest, right? We're going to draft a two-piece sleeve, which is 32-inch chest. We do some calculation, divided by 4 equals, we have an 8-inch bicep, which is this bit to here, 8-inch. Elbow from the top line from here to there is 15-inch, right? And then the sleeve length 24-inch from top to bottom, right? You might say, where do we get this elbow from the top line? Is that we divide the whole 24-inch length in 2 and then plus 2 inches from the top, which is this green line here, right? That's how we get. Or we can measure from underarm to the waist or the wrist. Right, let's start this one then. We had a new one, okay. Now let's go to the points first. Have this, click on this A, press shift, and then do the 22-inch, right, and say apply, and go to, now it's out of the vision, we have to press fit, and then go out, see properly. Okay, maybe we can make this one a little bit bigger. Right, we can see it. Right, we have this center line now, yes? This center line here, which is 22-inch. What we said is 6-inch crown, right? If we just click this one, point on line, or 0 or L, 0 and L, right? From A to A1, we put here 6-inch, the measurements that we have here, 6-inch, right? Apply. And we could call this crown, or underarm, or whatever you name it. Okay. Now, on this program, the one thing that you have everything you do, you have to go clockwise, like this, round, not like that. And you will see how becomes difficult in the future if you don't do clockwise. Right. We could actually this and this red line now, okay, point on perpendicular. What this is here is that we have 8 inch divided by 2, and if we say apply, you see, you could also change the colors here if you want to, or you can change, well I changed a little bit that color, okay, and I would say this is a solid line, okay, easy solid line, right, this is, we have a half of the bicep, right, and if we click on this point and here, there, and we write 8, apply, and you see, as we got this line now. So the same, so from here to there 8, right, and right, okay, let's go here, A1, press shift, we have got a 10.5 opening, right, 10.5 and divided 4, .5 divided 4, and we say apply. Now cancel and go back. Right. We need the measurements here from here to there to here, right? Just the 1 centimeter, 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, and say apply. Okay. Now we go back to this line, and from A, crossing where the crown point is, go as far as here and do 22. Okay. I want to do half a point from this one to here. Sorry, cancel. This from there to here and say apply. Okay, we have got a point. The reason I have that bottom line, can't I, here? And say, I don't know, 4. And I could put some points there as well, can't I? What I could do, okay, now what I can do from here to here, again. That's the basic line. Alright, if I do this and go that way, .75. Alright. The reason I did that, because the outer, I explained here, yes. The outer sleeve here, right, is longer than the inside seam. That's about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, that's what we put that one there. And if I click on this and this bit to apply, and let's do this as it is. Okay, let's do this as it is. Right, okay. And I want to put some line there, and that will be half of 8 is just a 4 inch. Okay, and then you could do, okay, if you do this there, no, that's an 8 inch, right, and this, that is 6 inch. Okay. That's 6 inch too. Okay. Now, this is the top of the armhole, which is here, right, this bit. Now what we want to do, we want to find this distance here, 1.5. If I go on this and click 8, 12 to A34, and I would say 1.5 and say apply. Okay. Now I need the reference here, this bit here, that's only going to be 1.25 and do apply. Okay, that's the where the outside of the top sleeve, which is here, and this is the outside of the undersleeve. Right. Okay. Inch and a half. Right. We got all the points that we need. If we go to fit, we got all the points that we need. Right. Let's do, go to curve line and click on this one. Start curving, as I said, from clockwise. We stop on this and then we start here. If we click shift and then move this, then gives you this angle here. That's where the elbow point is. This is the outside of the top sleeve. Let's draw inside the top sleeve. Okay. And let's do inside the wrong button. This one. This is the underarm inside seam. Okay, we need the whole, the bottom. Now we need to do this bit here. We could collect this and press shift. Right, and then shape this armhole. And the front is almost straight line, okay? And the top has to be that much straight here, this point. That is the front of the top sleeve. And that is going to be back of top sleeve. Okay. Now we do the under. Right. And we do that bit there, 16 to 15, right? We have to do this exactly the same as far as here. And okay, as far as there has to be the same as where the top sleeve. Okay. Now we have done actually. Let's see if I could do this one a little bit more. Maybe. Okay, this is finished really. If we want to do see a piece, right, if we go to piece here, it says you can't use this because you haven't made any pieces. So you have to come here and look at the pieces here. Click on plus tab, right? When you click, as I said, it has to go clockwise. So if I click on 15, right, press shift and CTRL at the same time. Now click on my curve, A5, then 8, 10, sorry, no 8, 10, A20, clicking on the points, this point, and that is when I select everything in red, press enter. Press enter. So when you go to piece, if you go to fit here, then yes, you have got your top sleeve here at least, correct? you've got a top sleeve. Maybe you have to do adjustment here, for example, when you come to this grain line, right, and then right click in properties, then go here and just do this 0 to change the and apply. Okay, this is the grain line. And you can also do extend and if you want extend, or you can even rotate from here. Okay, you see we have got a seam allowances built in, right, on this one, so we don't want any seams. Right, we don't want any seams. So this is the top sleeve, but without the hem. We didn't put any hem yet. A60, and then click on this curve line and 5. Then this point here, and then that point there is A18, and select my curve and press Y. It does go. Okay, it means it's already made the piece. Right, yes, we have. We need to change one thing on the arm. Okay, bring it here. Then click on this, properties. Again, go here, grain line. Just change it to 0. It's 90 degrees. Apply. Okay, so we have this as well. We have got 2-piece sleeve, correct? We have got 2-piece sleeve. Now, one thing I need to check here is that this is slightly ease on the arm. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. While we are here, you could actually go in layout, drafted the 2-piece sleeve. We can actually just check the measurements of this. Right, that's a 6.7 inch. Right, if we get a calculator here, .7 and plus we have 2, that's 3 inch. No. 6.7 plus 3, and then 2.5 plus 2.5 equals, that's 12 inch. 12 inch. Amen. Okay. Times 2.5 equals 30 centimeter, 60 centimeter. It could be. This could be the bigger than your armhole, right? For that, what you can do, you can A13, that's line A13. No, A13. I want to do a different color. Proceed. Okay, this A13. you could go this one, like instead of 6 inch you could go, I don't know, 5.75 of an inch, and instead of 8 inch in the bicep you can go 7.5 inch. So, or you can just bring these lines in, but this is not this is only standard sleeve pattern, right? And you put two inch hem on this one, that's it, finished, really. How can we put 2 inch hem on this one? Let's try together, okay? If I go here and then operational, if I click on that, right, then I click this and the CTL this, CTR that, and CTR that, and then press enter, then come here this is our shape, right? This has to come, for example, point here. If you do this and if you do it straight, press shift, let's say 2 inch, right? And this as well, also pretty straight. You see, look, now when you do straight, you lose the shape. You have to go this way and then to apply. So we got the shape, and we could actually connect this to that. This goes for the undersleeve, for example, and if I click here and then click there, and let's just do 2 inch, right? And then, okay, let's do another pieces, right? This time the hem zone, right? 15, shift and CT RL. Click on that. Point and here, and then there, and these points. You see? If you click all these points, when the pattern piece is done, okay, just say this one, top sleeve, top sleeve, and say okay. Now go back to piece here, and you see our top sleeve edit with, so we need to click all these points, press enter, yes. Now we call this undersleeve, and say okay, and go back where the piece is now. Alright, now I think we have, that's it. these ones with the seam allowances and everything, this one without the seam allowance and just a hem allowance. There's a seam allowance on this. Right, while we're here, let's do again this. Why we don't see all of them? I don't know how to delete this and do it. Hang on a minute, maybe here, maybe here, and it's there, the falls, okay. Oh yes, oh yes. Nicely laid out for us for the print as well, but we don't need the seam allowance. I don't know why we have the seam allowance, so I have to learn how to get rid of the seam allowance.